Monterey Bay has a long history as a great fishery. Sardine fishing had a famous boom and bust. Starting in 1912, millions of tons of fish were caught and millions of cans were processed at Cannery Row. At one point, this fishery produced 25% of the nation's seafood catch. Sardine fishing came to an abrupt halt around 1947. Was the crash a combination of one single factor or many factors? Was it overfishing? The end of the 50-year cycle of sardine population? Wanting to get every last fish? Or not knowing, acknowledging, or heeding the maximum sustainable yield, MSY. Almost magically, sea otters began appearing in the bay that same year. Monterey City was faced with economic collapse. Before the sardines, it had been a tourist destination. Monterey civic leaders' subsequent decisions set the stage to be pioneers in the ecotourism industry. Because the Monterey Bay is so large, it has many different cities and economies. The best and biggest cannery was converted into a world-class aquarium.
Toxoplasma gondii is a protozoan parasite common in cats. Almost all rodents and mammals have had toxoplasmosis with varying levels of difficulty. Sea otters seem to be highly susceptible to infections by this parasite, especially the young and pregnant females. T. gondii is hard to destroy, so even third-stage sewer treatments will not affect it. Cat feces carry this parasite that ends up in the ocean through sewage and stormwater runoff. Consumed lower in kelp food chain, they are ultimately eaten by sea otters, resulting in infections. Where there are otters, people are encouraged to put cat feces in garbage dumps instead of the toilet. Another parasite, acanthocephalan, is an infectious agent that lives in stagnant ponds. Stormwaters flush this parasite into the ocean. Invertebrates such as sea urchins ingest these parasites and become infected. Otters become infected when they eat infected animals. The disease starts in the stomach, and in some cases, their brain swells, causing their death.
There are still many unanswered questions about factors affecting the southern sea otter. The number one question is, why do so many newborns fail to reach maturity, even with similar birth rates to other otter populations? The ecosystem is studied in depth and managed by the federal agencies, state and local governments, environmentally oriented nonprofits, and commercial users.
How did the city of Monterey generate consensus with all other interested parties around the bay and in the inland area? Advocacy by local governments, eco-friendly groups, and the scientific community, coupled with a conservation mood in the nation, established a federal marine sanctuary under the jurisdiction of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, also known as NOAA. Because the sea otter population grew, Monterey and the aquarium have become the world center for conservation and study of the sea otters.